Hi, I am Arm. Today I am going to share with you the latest isekai anime, Chronicles of an Aristocrat Reborn in Another World. The boy is reincarnated in another world and lives a life of being surrounded by various beauties, including his maid, his teacher, and his friend. When the powerful hooligans intend to bully his teacher, he, as an 8-year-old boy, defeats all of the hooligans by just slightly raising his hand. Such a brave and powerful boy quickly wins the hearts of two beautiful teachers, and they promise to join his harem when the boy grows up. All of this is just the beginning of the boy's life in another world. Like and subscribe, and let's see the orphan boy, Kane, changing from nobody to somebody. The story starts with an accident. One day, Kane has just left work, and he encounters a robbery on his way home. The robbers try to hurt the two girls, and Kane immediately fights the robbers in order to protect the girls. However, Kane is killed in the fight. When Kane wakes up again, he has reincarnated as a noble boy. Seeing Kane wake up, his maid is very happy. Just then, Kane realizes that he has been reincarnated in another world. He lives in a luxurious room, and the maid carefully takes care of him, which can prove that he is definitely not an ordinary person. In this world, Kane was born into a noble family. His father is a count and has two wives. The first wife gave birth to two boys and the second gave birth to a girl as well as Kane. That is to say, Kane has two older brothers and one older sister. There is magic and all kinds of strange creatures in this world, which makes Kane very curious. Therefore, he is very studious. Since Kane's soul is a teenager, he is much better at learning than ordinary children. Soon, Kane is able to cast some simple spells. Kane's sister likes Kane so much that she often teaches him some knowledge herself. Kane then learns that this kingdom was founded 300 years ago by an adventurer who also seemed to be an earthling. With the help of his sister, Kane quickly masters the basics of the world. One day, Kane needs to go to church for baptism, which is the custom of this world. After being baptized, people are able to cast magic and use other skills. The people of this kingdom believe in 7 gods, who will bless the baptized believers and give them certain talents. Generally, a person will only be blessed by 1 or 2 gods, but when Kane is baptized, he sees all 7 gods. The gods tell Kane that his death was an accident, so the gods on earth ask them to take care of him. Therefore, all 7 gods bless Kane, who then acquires talents in magic, combat, business, life skills, and so on. When Kane returns to the church from the world of gods, he immediately checks his state, only to be surprised to find that all of his attributes are twice the maximum. If it is discovered by someone, Kane may be in trouble, so he decides to hide his true attributes. But even so, Kane's family is frightened when they check Kane's attributes because Kane forgets to hide his mana, and his mana turns out to be dozens of times that of the strongest magician. Kane's father decides to hide Kane's attributes because he has the potential to cause panic in other countries. After Kane is baptized, he is able to cast high-level summoning magic. He wants a magic pet, so he casts a summoning spell based on the contents of a summoning magic book. However, Kane unexpectedly summons a monster, which tries to attack Kane's sister and another little girl. To protect them, Kane fights the monster. This scene is similar to the scene before Kane's death, but luckily, this time Kane manages to defeat the monster and protect the 2 girls. Both girls are very touched and they are grateful to Kane for protecting them. Kane is also very happy. He knows that in this world, he has great power to protect others. Since then, Kane has had a dream to travel to every corner of the world and help as many people as possible. To make Kane better learn magic and swordsmanship, Kane's parents find 2 adventurers to be Kane's teachers. Kane is curious about the 2 teachers, so when he hears the teachers arrive, he runs out excitedly. Just then, Kane discovers that his teachers are 2 beautiful girls. Since Kane is from a noble family, the 2 teachers have great respect for him. One of them is a magician and the other is a swordswoman. Later when they are teaching, the 2 teachers are surprised to find that Kane is much stronger than a child, even stronger than the average adventurer. He can easily defeat his swordsmanship teacher in battle, and his magic is much more powerful than that of his magic teacher. He also has a magic box, which is only as big as a palm, but inside it is a magical space as large as a castle. The 2 teachers realize that Kane is much stronger than them, and they don't have any skills to teach Kane. At this time, Kane suggests that they take him out on an adventure. Usually, Kane can only stay at home and can only go out when practicing magic, so the 2 teachers ask for Kane's father's permission to take Kane out. After Kane's father learns that Kane may ruin the house if he practices magic at home, he agrees. After Kane comes to the wild, he can finally cast magic with his full strength. He directly destroys a large stone with a medium-level fire magic, which is even more powerful than high-level magic. Both teachers are surprised, and they are finally convinced that Kane is a super genius. At this time, they suddenly hear the sound of a monster coming from the grass nearby. Kane immediately attacks the monster and kills it. After that, he puts the materials dropped by the monster into his magic box. The teachers are very envious of Cain for having such a magic box. They then hunt monsters in the wild with Cain. During the battle, some monsters flee to the nearby forest. Cain tries to pursue but is stopped by the teachers because there are many powerful monsters in the forest. Hearing this, Cain decides to try hard to become stronger so that he can take adventures in the forest afterward. After a day of training, Cain is raised to level 8. The speed of Cain's leveling up is unexpectedly 100 times faster than the others, and it turns out that one of the gods gave him 100 times more experience points than normal. The next day, the teachers take Cain to the Adventurers Guild, where they can find a lot of information about monsters. Both teachers are D-rank adventurers, and Cain is still young, so he cannot register as an adventurer for the time being and has no rank. At this time, several C-rank adventurers harass the two teachers. Although they are adventurers, they are very disgusting. Cain is angry and he immediately stops these shameless adventurers. Despite his young age, Cain is very powerful. The leader of the C-rank adventurers underestimates Cain's strength, and in the end, he is easily defeated by Cain, but he is unwilling to admit defeat and then tries to attack Cain with a weapon. Angry, Cain teaches them a hard lesson and drives them away from the Adventurers Guild. The teachers express their attitude towards Cain, and later, they find more monsters according to the guild's intelligence with Cain and gain a lot of experience points from the monsters. As time passes by, Cain takes adventurers with the two teachers for 3 years, during which the teachers have also become more powerful than before. Later, the two teachers decide to venture somewhere else and say goodbye to Cain. Knowing this, Cain decides to prepare a gift for them before they leave. He knows they have always wanted a magic box, so he tries to make 2 magic boxes for them. He goes into the dangerous woods in search of materials to craft magic boxes and defeats a lot of powerful monsters. During then, his battle with the monsters causes a violent explosion, which causes the soldiers in the castle to think that the monster is about to invade the castle. So Cain's father leads the army to the forest to hunt down monsters. When they arrive, they see only a large hole. Seeing the item left by Cain in the hole, Cain's father finally understands what happened. After that, Cain takes out 2 magic bags he made as parting gifts, which contain a magic space as large as a castle. Magic bags with space as large as a carriage are already very rare, so the magic bags given by Cain are as valuable as national treasures. The teachers are very grateful to Cain, and they don't know how to repay him. Finally, they give him 2 kisses. Later, Cain says goodbye to his enlightenment teacher and starts a new stage of his life. That brings the end of Chronicles of an Aristocrat Reborn in Another World episodes 1 and 2. Cain is a brave and kind boy. In his previous life, he died for helping the weak. Therefore, he has got a second life, in which he faces the same situation. The terrifying monster attacks his sister, but Cain isn't frightened by his previous death and once again decides to help the weak. This time, Cain doesn't die because he gains supreme power. One good turn deserves another, and I think it's fair for Cain to get such a strong power. If you also like this story just like me, please like and subscribe. If you want to see the second part of this anime, comment below to tell me. See you in my next video.